the Season 4 build drop on the iRacing platform, and when it comes to the dirt side of things, we pretty much got one thing done, and that was a new track, Lucas Oil, also known as Wheatland. So what are my initial thoughts on it? Well, stick around, because in this video I'm going to tell you what I think, the good things I actually like about it, and why I think it might be a pretty racy track. What's up, everybody? Thomas Brandon here. Thank you very much as always for joining me. And like I said, in this video we're going to be taking a look at Lucas Oil, which is the new dirt track here on iRacing. I've already gone out and ran it in a couple of cars, the 360 Wing Sprint, the Big Block Modified, and the dirt late model, the Super. And initially, I like it. You know, it's a unique track. Now, one of the things that I really do like about it is I think it's going to present a unique challenge or unique race situations for a couple of the cars. It's a very deceiving track. It's got these wider sweeping corners. The banking up top, when you reach a certain point, it's almost like Volusia, where you've then got inverse banking where it actually drops off towards the fence. That was kind of interesting. But the corners are tight. They are tight. Even when you're running the top, you're going to have to really open the car up on entry. I noticed the first few laps I did, not really having a feel for the track. One of the things that I would do is I would go into the corner straight, and then by the time I got to the apex, I realized I was having to turn the car more and more, and then you would break it loose coming out. So it's one of those tracks you really want to open up on entry to get that car rotated and set, so then you can keep it straight through the rest of the corner. And this was the case in the late model, the Big Block, and the 360 Wing Sprint car. Now I'm going to actually run a couple of cars with you live for the first time. I shouldn't say live, but in this video for the first time, so that way you can kind of see, you know, what I'm talking about, and I can get a feel for it, you know, in real time with you. So that being said, let's head over and take a look at it. All right, so first things first, couple simple details on it. The track, you know, is Lucas Oil. You'll also see it called Wheatland in some of the setup stuff. It's just under 4/10 of a mile, 0.37, which is good. I actually want to see more short tracks on the sim when it comes to dirt. You know, these half miles where you're just holding it wide open. I mean, the half miles can be fun, but I was hoping for more short tracks, so I'm glad to see this. Night lighting doesn't have lighting right now. I imagine at some point it will, because it does have it in real life. Okay, just about every dirt track in the world, at least here in the US, has got night lighting. So iRacing, I imagine they'll get that taken care of here soon. But that is kind of the simple details of the track. So let's head over. Let's start off with the 410 sprint car. All right, so we're here in the 410 sprint car. I just threw in the iRacing setup and added some fuel to it. The iRacing Tour qualifying setup, and threw some fuel in it. And then just used the generated track, which is, I don't know, probably like 10% or something like that. Like I was saying, first of all, up by the wall, you can see how the banking almost like inverses, flattens off up here. So I don't see the wall, right, running up on the wall like we do at some of the tracks. I don't see that as a real viable option. Here you can see it really flattens off. So running the top is not going to be right on the wall. I don't think that's going to be a real viable option. Now, that doesn't mean there's still not a lot of room. You still have a ton of room. You could definitely run too wide here. Where I think this track is going to get really dicey for people is on the exits of the corners, because like I said, these corners are sharp. They really are, man. They're sharp corners. So when you look at the track, if I just drive it in straight, you can see by the time we get to the apex, I've got to rotate the car more, which then breaks us loose, and now we're just sliding out. So you've got to really open the car up on entry. Even if you're just running up on the marbles, you got to get it opened up. to get it through the corner. Because if you try to just go in nice and straight, right, coming off, you can see now we're sliding out and we're going to fishtail. So I think the track can provide some pretty decent racing. I do think it's going to be a pretty racy track, which I'm actually excited about. I really am. One of the things that I've got planned this season is to get back into dirt, because as you guys know, I've taken kind of a break from it. And so I do think this track can provide some pretty good racing, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, the cars that I'm actually looking forward to it in it the most are going to be the non-wing cars. So let's actually check that out. Right, so the next one that we've got here is the Dirt Midgets, and like I said, the two cars that I'm looking forward to racing the most at this track right now, and obviously that could change once we start racing here, but the two cars I'm looking forward to the most are the Dirt Midgets and the non-wing sprints. I love these shorter tracks for these cars, although I think the Dirt Midgets need a little bit of an improvement on the physics. Overall, I still really like them, and I love the non-wing sprint cars. To me, they're the best cars on dirt. I wish we would see more official racing with those cars, but we've got the Dirt Midgets here, so let's just head out, see what we got. I did just the iRacing setup. Once again, I did take some fuel out because it's got way too much fuel just to do a few laps around here. But let's see what we got here. Well, that's something that we can see is never going to change, where these things just won't turn. But all right, let's do this. Now, see, I can tell you, I think that's going to be I think that's going to be a line you're going to see a lot of people running here in the midgets, is that slider line. But this is about as big of a track as I like to see for the midgets. I would say probably Lernerville's probably the max. I actually really like the midgets at Lernerville. But I think this track could be fun with these cars, especially if it'll slick off. And that's one of the things that the midgets has been lacking, is the tracks they don't slick off like they used to. If we could see the track slick off more, then I think we could have some really good racing with these cars. Now, the newer tracks do slick off more than some of the older ones, so sometimes, depending on the track and the car count, obviously, but I think this could be a pretty fun track in the midgets. It's wide. We can have some good racing with it. I definitely think we can see two grooves open up, like I said, if we've got enough cars and we see the track really work itself in. So I do like this track for the midgets. I really like it regardless. I think it's a good track. But the car I'm looking forward to the most is the next one that we're going to run. So let's head over and take a look at that. All right, so the last car that I want to try out here is obviously the non-wing, and this is the car that I'm looking forward to the most here. Now, I'm in the 360 non-wing because if we do get officials, it's usually in the 360. I don't even know the last time we had a 460 non-wing race go official, which is unfortunate because the 410s, in my opinion, are actually easier to drive than the 360s, believe it or not, and they're way funner. But this is the car that I'm looking forward to the most. I think these tracks are perfect for these cars. I really do. I love them. And this is, like I said before, I think this is the best dirt car we have right now in terms of the physics, and it's by far the funnest. You're going to have to really... I mean, we had to open it up in the wing car, but here, I mean, you're going to have to really back this thing in if you want to get down on the bottom or something. I took a couple of practice laps, but man, it's been a minute since I've driven these cars. I'm rusty. Almost forgot how much I like them though. But yeah, overall you can see the track's nice. It's a good track. You know, obviously the lighting needs to be fixed. You know, especially when you can see the light poles around the track. But you know, iRacing, I'm sure will get that taken care of here soon. They'll do a patch or a hot fix or something like that to get it fixed. But yeah, overall, I like it. Lucas Oil, you know, another new dirt track on the sim. You know, new content is never a bad thing. And yeah, so overall, I like it. I think it could be provide us some good racing. But until we actually get it on the schedule and run it, only time will tell. All right, you guys, so that's going to do it all for my review of the new Lucas Oil dirt track. Like I said, overall, I like it. I think it could be fun. I do think it could provide some good racing. I'm looking forward to it more for other cars than other ones. You know, I think the non-wing stuff, it can be a lot of fun, and I do think it'll be fun in the wing cars, but potentially. Obviously, we don't know for sure until we get out there and race it. And even the big blocks in the late models, when I drove it, I do think it could be fun in those as well. I'm just more looking forward to, like I said, the non-wing stuff. Overall, you know, it's nice. Like I said, it's nice to get a new track. New content is always great. I do wish iRacing would give us a little bit more on the physics side. We've definitely seen the participation drop off with a lot of the series. I do think a lot of that has to do with the physics. I think there's a lot of people out there that are frustrated and would like to see something. Now, I know, and I talked about this last night in my live stream, it's not easy. And from my understanding, they've got people working on it, and I get it. I've talked about this before. It's really easy to sit back and complain, okay? It's different to provide a real solution that's going to make people happy. My biggest gripe with all of it is not the fact that we're not getting improvements quick enough. It's the fact that we don't know anything. I just wish iRacing would be transparent, that they would just tell us, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what we're looking at for a timeline, this is what we're hoping, right? Like that's it. That's all you got to say. But when you just give us a track as a band-aid, right, because that's how it comes across, and then we've just got the same stuff and everybody's saying, hey, fix this, what's going on, and we get nothing back. I think that's where we're really seeing a lot of the frustration. And I believe, you know, if they just would tell us, I think a lot of people would be much more happy and positive about it, as opposed to looking at it as, you know, hey, they just don't care. And that's the problem right now, is that a lot of people are just jaded. You know, another new track, yay, and then they're just like, who cares? They don't fix what we have. And there's a lot of people that are jaded by that, and it's unfortunate. You know, hopefully things start looking up. I do think we will see some updates this year to the cars. This is my personal theory. I have not talked to anybody. Like I've said before, the people at iRacing wouldn't know me if they tripped over me in the street. But I do think we will see something similar to what we saw last year, where we did the pro qualifier for the sprint cars, and then after the pro qualifier we saw an update to the sprint cars. I do think we'll see something similar to that. Whether or not we do, I don't know, but that's what I'm kind of thinking. That's what I'm kind of crossing my fingers and hoping for, is that we see something along those lines, because I think there's a few of the dirt cars need to be updated some, you know, and not wholesale changes, but just some tweaks, you know, in terms of the dirt late models. I think they need a little bit of improvement. I think the dirt late models just need some more forward drive with the tire. The fact that you're just rolling through like 50% throttle on a tacky track. I mean, those cars in real life, you want to keep them straight, but they're on throttle more than that. The dirt midgets should have a lot more action to them. I've talked about that. They should definitely have some more forward drive. And then the sprint cars, you guys all know, you know, where I'm at with those things. So, you know, that's what I'm hoping. We'll see what happens. Who knows? But anyways, in terms of the new track, I like it. I think it's going to be fun, and yeah, I'm actually looking forward to doing some racing on it this next season, which I believe it's the first race on a couple of the schedules. So week 1, season 4 should be interesting. But you guys, that's going to do it all for this video. Now, really quick, if you like this, you know what to do. Hit the like. If you don't like it, hit the dislike. Also, leave me a comment down below. What are your thoughts on this track, and where do you think dirt's heading? Do you think we've got any improvements coming like I do? You know, like I said, I could be wrong. It's just a theory. But do all that stuff. Make sure you also subscribe, share this, and if you are interested, I've got a bunch of stuff coming up. I'm already working on it. We've got a lot of stuff coming up for the NASCAR series, because I've had people who have hit me up on kind of requests about videos, shocks, adjustments, how do I build the setups for the cars. Now, I did a lot of testing on those things to really kind of figure things out. Since the last update, you know, we've been pretty good, but I've been missing 1 or 2 pieces, and I really think I hit on them this last week. And in last night's live stream at Kansas, the car was really good. So I think I've hit on a few things. So I got some videos coming out about that stuff as well, because those cars, once you get those things figured out, man, they're even more fun than they have been, in my opinion. I absolutely love those. The more I run those things, the more I love them. I really do. So if you want to catch that stuff, make sure you are subscribed. And then finally, if you want to join the SSR community, links down in the description below. We've got the Discord, the email list, you know, all that stuff. Just head over to schoolofsimracing.net, click on the button, join community. That'll send you all of the links for our, you know, Facebook group, Discord, all that other stuff like that, where we've got thousands and thousands of other sim racers that are there, you know, racing with each other, talking with each other. We got all different types of stuff that can help you, and you know, the vast majority of it is free. So if you want to check any of that stuff out, links for everything down in the description below. But that'll do it. Thank you very much, as always, for joining me. Until next time, I want to wish you good luck, good racing, take care.